Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Summer's not here yet. Okay, so summer's here. And we got Bad Bunny's album, so summer's here. I think it's time for me to post a video about music, like summer books. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. And so these are the 6 books I would recommend to read at the beginning of summer or in summer. During summer. So yeah, I will be making more videos about summer, I think, but these are the first ones I will mention. And so let's go. Okay, so I tried to pick books that I haven't talked about before. Ignore the ambulance. I will try to talk about it. So the first book is Malibu Ryzen by the author of Daisy Jones and the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So Malibu Ryzen tells the story of 4 siblings, and there are, if you know who Mick Riva is from the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, you will know who there's, like, he has 4 children, and so we're following the story. They're adults, and they like celebrate they do a party every year in their mansion, like the mansion of the eldest Nina Riva. And so we are following them, and like the book develops in like the one day, like the whole book is one day, and we are following. I like so much. What I like so much about the writing of this book is, besides it's in LA, so of course it's like summer vibes, but also I like it, the fact that we are not only following the 4 siblings. Like, we sometimes open a chapter and it's like describing someone else in the party, and you're like following their story too, and it's following many stories, and it's amazing. I really like the writing. I like the author, of course, and it's 3rd person, which I love. And Seven Husbands is 1st person, and so is Daisy Jones. Well, Daisy Jones is different, so it's very enjoyable. I'm not talking about Daisy Jones because I've talked about it so much, but it is also a summer book, and so is the Seven Husbands. So if you want to read them, go read them. But I'm recommending Malibu Rising. That's the one I'm taking responsibility for. And I know that some people don't like it, or don't like the Seven Husbands, and they enjoy this one. So it depends. If you're an older sibling, I think you would enjoy it. I've been trying to get my sister to read it for a lot of time since I read it. Yeah, last year when it came out, and she doesn't read it. And I have so many books about older siblings. I'm gonna mention another one in this list, so yeah, stay tuned. Then we have Conversations with Friends. It's a Sally Rooney book. It's her first book, I think. Yeah, the first book she published. And we are following, well, I don't know how to explain it, but basically it's about a lot of things, but we are following the main character and her ex-girlfriend Bobby, but also it's like her friend now. They're friends, and they get mixed up in a weird relationship because they become friends with a married couple, I'm sorry. And yeah, like Frances is interested in the husband, and Frances is the main character, and Bobby is interested in the wife, and it's it's a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's so much more than that. Like every Sally Rooney book, it's about mental health, it's about relationships, about love, and I really enjoyed it. And it has a TV show that's coming out on Hulu with Joe Alwyn, I think. Yeah, I think. Who is Joe Alwyn? I think I mentioned before this show, but yeah, I talked about it in my wrap-up, I think. Again, yeah, I tell everything in my wrap-up. And Joe, the show, people are saying it's not so good. I haven't watched that, but I really like the book. I gave it 4.7 stars. Like normal people, I gave 4.7. I still think I like normal people more, but I really love Conversations with Friends. Then we have, I keep going back to Percy Jackson, but if you're gonna read Percy Jackson, it's a summer book because it's in Camp Half-Blood. It's a camp, and it's every summer. This is the time to read it. So Percy Jackson. I keep talking about, have you, like, there's an audio on TikTok that someone saying like, so Taylor Swift, I'm like that, but with Percy Jackson and also with Taylor Swift, like I can always talk about it. Ignore the dog that just came into. So yeah, Percy Jackson tells the story of a demigod. Do I have to explain Percy Jackson? And he discovers he's a demigod, and so that's the series about. And he's 12 when we begin with him, and by the end he's like 16. So yeah, I really love those books, and we are getting a show in. I talked about it in another video, so I will not talk about it again. But we're getting a show in Disney Plus, so that's all I'm gonna say. Go read Percy Jackson if you haven't by now. Like, go away. And then we have Book Lovers. That's the other book that's about like an older sister, and we are following the main character. She is Laura. That's her name, and this is the new like book from Emily Henry, and it tells the story of like Nora. It's that character that I don't know how to explain it, but she explains it better than me, obviously. But Nora is technically that girlfriend that it's manipulative and people hate. And when the guy goes to a small town to shut down a family business, he falls in love with the daughter of the owners. And Nora, it's that mean girlfriend that everyone hates. She is the Meredith Blake of this story.
This is Meredith Blake.
Hi.
And so we are getting her point of view. And she has a sister, a younger sister, obviously. So Nora is this character that's been left behind so many times by boyfriends. Like it happened, like it's not a one-time thing. It happens a lot to her. But also she works with books, and so does the love interest and Charlie. And my favorite love interest from Emily Henry used to be Goose from Book Lovers, but he's not anymore, and I'm sorry to say it. He lost my heart because Charlie has it now, and Book Lovers has so many amazing quotes. I don't want to cry because I cried a lot reading the book. So yeah, I think if you're an older sibling, you're going to cry a lot more reading it. I just cried because I'm a baby. So yeah. And yeah, I recommend it 100%. And go read it. Also, she goes to a small town, so her sister is trying to get her to have her own love story, technically. So yeah, her sister is crazy. And after that, I will recommend, okay, we have 2 more books left. We have Along With You in the Ether. I talked about it before. I will talk about it again. Along With You in the Ether is by the author of the Atlas 6, like Olivia Blake. You know who she is. We know who she is. We all know her. Okay, so Along With You in the Ether, we follow the story of 2 characters. We follow Aldo and Charlotte, but call her Regan, okay? So Aldo and Charlotte and Regan, I'm sorry, and it says it in the cover. It's like a love story, but it's not a romance because we're following her journey with mental health and all that stuff. And so the author recently got a deal to publish it with an editor, like how do you call that? She's gonna publish it like officially, like the Atlas 6 happened, like it happened with the Atlas 6. So we're getting like a new cover, even though the book won't change. And she says it's like very similar to her love story with her husband, and so that's cute. And I really love this book. I think I love it more than the Atlas 6. I think it's one of my favorite books, and it's amazing. I don't know what else to tell you. It talks about mental health, and it talks about addiction, and one of the main characters, although it's like he's half Dominican, which is amazing. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's interesting in this book, and I really loved it. I really cried. I think you need to look trigger warnings. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's an amazing book. And it's okay. So why do I think it has summer vibes? Because Book Lovers, it's obvious. Along With You in the Ether has kind of a summer vibes, but not like, it's more of a spring going into summer. I think that's the vibes I get. It's like folklore. When I read it, I think of folklore. Like, this is me trying, my tears ricochet. That's what I feel about this book. That's why I put it here. And last but not least, I think my recommendation of summer book by excellence is Call Me by Your Name. It's there's so many things to say about Call Me by Your Name, but in the end, it's an amazing book, and we are following the story of Elio and Oliver and how they meet each other one summer and they fall in love, and fall in love, yeah, technically, where they have kind of a romance. I really love this book. I read it many times and I will keep on reading it. And it's during the summer in Italy. I'll try to sum it up from the description. Is the story of a sudden and powerful romance that blossoms between an adolescent boy and a summer guest at his parents' cliffside mansion on the Italian Riviera. Unprepared for the consequences of their attraction, at first each feigns indifference, but during the restless summer weeks that follow, unrelentingly buried currents of obsession and fear, fascination and desire intensify their passion as they test the charged ground between them. And so, yeah, that's basically and that's a better description that I could ever give. So I'm sorry, I'm not that smart, but yeah, like, it's one of my favorite books in the world. I have it in my favorites list. We will not talk about the movie because even though I loved it, and it's the reason because the movie is the reason I read the book, I don't want to talk about it because of some cannibal, if you know what I mean. It's such a summer book, and it's like a summer book, like, you know how some summer books like make you feel the heat? Call Me by Your Name makes you feel like the breeze. It's like refreshing. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it's a sad gay book, so beware, but it's worth it, like, a lot. And that's the last book I have to talk about. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be going to the beach hopefully, because I fucking live in an island. How can I not go to the beach in the summer? And I also want to go to a pool. I don't know, it's so hot, you guys. I'm melting. And if you haven't listened to Bad Bunny's new album, like, what are you doing with yourself? It's called Un Verano Sin Ti. It has such amazing songs. Andrea, Un Verano Sin Ti, El Apagón. Yo, the best songs. Like, there's more. I love them all, but that Después de la Playa and Enséñame a Bailar. Enséñame a Bailar. Oh, amazing song. So yeah, go and listen to the album and read the books I just said. And oh my god, along with you in the Aether, we're getting a new cover. I'm gonna cry. Okay, see ya.